So once I figured out what my business was going to be, what my offering was, what the business was itself, then I was able to start thinking about the website, the structure of it, the copy that I wanted involved, how I was going to present my business and present my offering. So I was all excited and ready to start building out the website. And the way that I did it was not efficient whatsoever. What I did, I immediately jumped into my website builder and started building out the website. Now this isn't what I built out at first. I started just to play with it. I'm like, okay, I need a navigation bar at the top. So I'll put a navigation bar there. I need a heading, and then I need some image here, and then I come down, and there's gonna be more to this. I need, another section, paragraph. And I was trying to write the copy, design the web page, and develop it all simultaneously. I learned pretty quick from web developers that that was not the structure of how you should form a website, especially with Webflow, that I was doing a custom website from scratch. It was very inefficient, very slow, and it's not the way that I would recommend doing it. The first thing that I would recommend in building your website is to find the skeleton first. How many pages are you gonna have? What is the structure gonna be like? Start there. Within there, you can start figuring out the content within each page. How many sections are you gonna have? What do you want those sections to be about? And a term within web design is low fidelity and high fidelity, which just means how detailed are you going to be? And so when you start, it's important to be low fidelity. Even when you're talking about the content of the website, what is the copy? What is the section gonna be about? So if you're building out a website, you might have a hero section. Then after that, you sketch out that you want to have our process section. After that, testimonials, client results, a contact form. That might be an example of like a very rough outline of what you want your hero page to be. Then you have services you offer, and then you might have a different flow to how that page is going to go. And most website builders define these chunks into sections. So with my website, you have my hero section here that I have titled right here. You have this next section, which I've titled our process section. These are just these different building blocks that I'm trying to lay out. So when someone lands on my website, hopefully they scroll, and when they scroll, more of the process and what makes us unique unfolds. It takes them through, and at that point where they get to the bottom, they feel like they've received enough information to make a decision whether or not they want to move forward. When you think roughly about it, what's the most important thing that you want your potential customers or clients to know about you? That should go at the beginning of the website. And if there's any unanswered questions, you should put that at the bottom of the website. So that's why there's a lot of frequently asked questions or common questions at the bottom, or contact forms if you have questions beyond that point, to help alleviate any doubt or worries about what your offering is. So the process first starts with the content of the website. So we got the sections, the points that we want to talk about, and then we need to come in on a document and then lay all that copy out on a document form. This is really going to become the heart of the website. The design is going to make it look nice and pretty and presentable, but this is really what's going to carry your message forward. This part is very important. You typically have a hero section. That is the first thing that people are going to see when they land on your website. So this is the example, the one that I did. I have this bold text that's supposed to catch your eye first. It's the first thing that you're gonna read. And I've got these small little accent texts that are not supposed to take up a lot of brain calories, that it's supposed to be easy to digest for the reader. I've got this video down here that's supposed to encourage them to scroll and to see more about it. And for the people that are already ready to make a decision, I've got these two buttons here that they can just click on it, and it takes them immediately to the section that they're looking for. So this video in web terms is meant to be low fidelity, or just sort of an overview. I'm not really going to go into all of the details and everything that you need in a website for it to be successful. There's so many commonalities between websites. That's just because that format works. People are familiar with it, easy to use, and it's easy to understand. And that is the essential part of a website, is you want it to be intuitive for whoever is going to be using it. It's good to have a logo. It's good to have a navigation bar that if people land on it and they want to go to a specific page or point. And then it's good to have a hero heading, a subheading, have a button, and have some credibility. So once you have the content of your website, the copy, the words of your website, this is not the most updated version. This was an older draft that I had. But once you have that, you can start to build out the web design. I've got a hero section. I've got a title. I've got a paragraph. I've got a button. So how's that going to look on the website? I would look at other similar websites, whether it's in your niche or just websites that you like in general, to get a taste of what they're doing, and then take that influence into your website and to use it as inspiration. Because I was very interested in design, and I wanted to learn how to be a better designer. It was a skill set that I thought was important to me. It's a skill set that I'm interested in as a creative person. I want to be able to create things and have them look good and aesthetic. So I use a design tool called Figma. Figma is my absolute favorite tool ever. It's so intuitive to me. It works exactly how I would want it. Makes it so much more manageable to approach this process in finding a design and having it look good. There's a lot of inspiration you can take out there and you can pull into Figma, and you can, design off of inspiration. There's sites like Dribbble, there's Pinterest, there's a whole bunch of different places you can go to find websites, or you can just go to websites that you like, take screenshots of them, put them into Figma, and start to not rip off, of course, other people's designs, but use them, like I said, as inspiration. And this is what they talk about in web design when they say low fidelity, which there is low fidelity and high fidelity also in film. And this is a point where it's very low fidelity, where there's just blocks. I don't even have text, but I'm just getting the structure out, what I want. I'm just making a bunch of copies of the board and slowly making it more detailed as I go along. I'm adding pictures here that are placeholders, and I'm adding different sections, and I slowly just continue to go through this and add more detail until I am happy with the final result. And from this point, I designed the mobile version and how I wanted that flow to be. And so once I designed it all, this essentially is just a static design. There's no functionality to this. This is why you have web designers and web developers. They're two very different jobs and tasks, but this is a huge springboard into the web development process, because I can take the colors I'm using, the fonts, the size of my font, my padding, my margin, and I can just take all of that data and put it into my web development and copy it over, and so that I can have a website that looks just like the website that I designed in Figma. And I mentioned for me, and I'll talk about this probably in future videos, about why I used Webflow. But the reason I went with Webflow is how custom I could make my website. I can control essentially every part of the website. There was a lot of very powerful features within it. I can add custom code, I can export my code, I can take it to a different platform. I felt like it was a very robust solution for me. There's other solutions out there like Squarespace, Wix, Shopify if you're an e-commerce store, that are all very capable of designing great websites. They're a lot more user intuitive. And so for me, this was a skill set that I wanted to develop, and I felt like it was very valuable for me to build within Webflow. And so going through with those 3 steps of building out your website, start first with a rough outline. You get more detailed with that, and then you go into your design. You start rough, low fidelity, you work your way until you get all the details right, and then you take that information and you take it into your website and you develop it. This is where you get your functionality. This is where you get your responsive web design that fits for different screens, formats, and different sizes. A good website is so crucial and important for so many people, because that is the hub, that is your front door into your website. This is the most common place that people are going to discover who you are and what you're all about, outside of all of your marketing efforts that you do. So it's important that you have a website that functions good. My website is by no means perfect, but it does function how it's supposed to, that it takes them through a process, and if I do my job correctly, they will end up making a purchase in what is a very simple and easy process for them. So for the people that don't have a web design or web development background, they've never built a website themselves, but they need to build one for their website and they don't know where to start, I hope this is a valuable video for you that's going to save you a lot of time in the end by approaching it more systematically. I hope you're able to build out a website that functions properly and looks pleasing to your customers and clients' eyes. If you're still watching this video at this point, you're probably an entrepreneur who's looking to build out your business, and you're still trying to figure out what is the perfect business for you to start that's going to energize you and give you a lot of fulfillment. I would watch this next video as I talk just about how to build a business that fits for you. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.